We was in the mine. I come walking up. There was two men right there. On my left was a man that I knew, and on the right. And the one on the right asked the other one, he says, "You know this guy?" Talking about me. And the guy on the left says, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, yeah. Yeah." And I did. Yeah, we did a lot of drugs together. He said, I remember one time we took some dynamite and threw it in the stock pond. Fish for days. And the guy on the right said, he said, "Yeah." He said, "One time I was in a bar and I was extremely drunk. And these three bouncers were beating the hell out of me. I mean, I was getting tore up. And he said, all of a sudden, they stopped. It was like the glory of God or something. And I was wondering what was going on because I was getting my head tore off. And he said, then I heard Jason's voice. If you touch him one more time, you're going home in a body bag. And he said, when I looked behind me, Jason had these three bouncers pinned up with this 2-foot dagger. And then he looked at the bouncers and me. And he said, if one of you wants to try to whoop him, that's okay. And he told me, he said, pick you out one and y'all fight one-on-one. And he said, I'll whoop that son of a bitch. And the other two walked off. Do you remember that, Jason? Took me a second. Yeah. It was at 2720 or 2017. Same place where I took John on that motorcycle ride when I was tripping. I remember that. As a felon, it's real easy to be reminded and walk around with everything that you've done bad. Agreed? If your family don't remind you, if your kids don't bring it up, if your spouse or your wife or the people, the law enforcement, the government doesn't bring you up, hell, you'll look through it and you'll be reminded when you pick up an application for an apartment, right? Or when you want to buy a gun, or you might want to vote. You're reminded of all the bad deeds that you did in that little bit of time. But the truth is different from the facts. Yeah, there's a lot of facts. I did a lot of things wrong. Yeah, he sold dope. He ran for the police. Blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, I've done a lot of good. And you have too. Don't ever forget that. Don't let the facts keep you from the truth about yourself. Because every once in a while, the good Lord will put you amongst people that remember the great things you did for them, and you'll be reminded that you're more than a felon. You're more than a mistake, right? That you were known before you were ever made. Yeah. They say in the release of a man, there's 500 sperm that run up here, 500 million sperm. Right? 500 million of them. And you're the result of the one that got there. Now tell me you ain't special. Don't let the dogma of government and past events, addictions, troubles keep you down, because there's people that you've done good that are still rooting for you. Fluid English.